For as long as we've been trading, we've needed a way to store our hard work and trade it for something else. Money is just the tool we designed to make that exchange possible. In the early days, that tool was simple. A gold coin carried its value within itself. If you held the coin, you held the wealth, and you didn't need a third party to tell you what it was worth. But physical gold is heavy and hard to move. Eventually, we traded that weight for paper. Because the paper itself has no value, we handed control over to a central authority, a government, to print the bills and manage the supply. This created the banking world we know today. We no longer hold our own wealth. We let massive institutions keep track of it for us. Now, every time you buy something, you are essentially asking a bank for permission to spend your own money. This means our entire financial existence relies on a single point of control. For the system to work, we have to place our total trust in the honesty and stability of these powerful middlemen. In 2008, that trust was put to the ultimate test. The very institutions we relied on to be stable made massive, high-risk gambles that they simply couldn't cover. The result was a global collapse. Banks that were thought to be untouchable vanished overnight. The stock market plummeted, and millions of people watched their life savings disappear. While families lost their homes, governments used public money to save the banks from their own mistakes. It was a moment of clarity for the world. The system was designed to protect the institutions, not the individuals. In the wake of that chaos, an anonymous figure named Satoshi Nakamoto released a plan for a different way forward. It was a proposal for Bitcoin, a digital currency that could be sent from person to person without any bank involved. This wasn't about creating a new stock to trade. It was about building a financial structure that removes the need for a central authority to approve our choices. To replace the bank, this system uses a blockchain. Think of it as a public digital ledger that everyone can see but no one can hide. Instead of one bank keeping a private record in a vault, thousands of computers all over the world keep identical, live copies of the same notebook. When you send a payment, you don't wait for a bank manager to sign off. Instead, your request is broadcast to the whole network. Every computer on that network checks its own copy of the ledger to confirm you have the funds. Once the network confirms the transaction is valid, it's bundled together with others into a permanent package of data. This new package is locked into place at the end of a long chronological chain. Because every computer has to agree on the new link, it becomes a record that is incredibly difficult to change or forge. Since there are thousands of copies of this chain, the system is transparent and secure. There is no central office to hack, and no single person who can decide to delete your balance. But if there's no bank employee running the show, how does the network actually stay powered and organized? That work is done by miners. These are people who run powerful computers that spend enormous amounts of energy solving the computational puzzles required to keep the ledger secure and synchronized. By providing the proof that they've done the heavy lifting to secure the network, the system rewards these miners with newly created coins. This ensures that the people keeping the network safe are always incentivized to play by the rules. This technology has already evolved past simple payments. New networks now host digital agreements that trigger themselves automatically. Imagine a contract that releases a payment the moment a goal is met, without a lawyer or a middleman needed to verify the outcome. This whole ecosystem allows people to lend, borrow, and trade directly with one another. It's a way to access financial services that used to be locked behind the doors of a bank. Because this system removes the central authority, it also removes the safety rails we're used to. It is a fast-moving, unpredictable landscape where things can change in an instant. Without a bank to stabilize things, prices can be incredibly unstable. A coin's value might double in a week, only to plunge by half the very next morning. Responsibility also shifts entirely to you. If you lose the digital keys to your account, there is no support line to call and no one to reset your password. That money is effectively gone, and there is no authority that can get it back. This lack of oversight also makes the space a target for bad actors and technical glitches. We are still in the early experimental stages, and the laws governing these tools are still being written. Cryptocurrency isn't a shortcut to wealth. It's a powerful and complex tool. Using it requires a level of personal caution and research that traditional banking never demanded of us. What began as a response to a global crisis has grown into a worldwide conversation about what money actually is. We are seeing major institutions and even governments start to incorporate this technology into their own infrastructure, acknowledging that the way we track value is changing. We have moved from physical gold to paper notes backed by promises, and now to a system where value is secured by the collective verification of thousands of computers. This is an idea that shifts power away from a central room and gives it back to the individual. It challenges the notion that we need a middleman to trust one another. For the first time, the way we control and share our wealth is no longer a private secret kept by banks, but a tool open to anyone with a connection to the network.